Hey, welcome guys. My name is Dr. Tom LaHue, and thank you for joining me for this video. We're going to talk about the masks we wear, every type, and what's going on underneath. And before we get started, there's a link in the description below to my website, tomlahue.com, where you can book coaching appointments for relationship coaching, Enneagram coaching. Sometimes life can be very difficult and challenging, and there's a lot of crazy stuff going on out there, and maybe you just need somebody to talk to. Reach out to me. I'd love to meet with you. And also, there's all kinds of training opportunities. If you're interested in the Enneagram and learning more about it and using it to help other people, I do have several different certificate classes that you can go through with other people on Zoom, and love for you to be a part of one of those classes. Just check it out there on the website. Thanks to my patrons. I appreciate your support. And also, guys, if you want to reach out to me to have me come speak to your staff, your leadership team, your nonprofit organization, whatever, please feel free to contact me. I'd love to come out and be on your campus and meet your people. Okay, so let's get started with this topic of what mask are you wearing? And every type does wear a mask. We all, in a sense, kind of hide. The Enneagram shows us the ways in which it helps us to see the ways in which we hide. This is nothing new. Adam and Eve hid in the garden as soon as they knew that they had done something wrong. And all of us have our own kind of ways of hiding behind our strengths, hiding behind what we're good at, and trying to put that out in front and center, and maybe not always sharing with people what's going on beneath the surface or what's going on. Now, this information came from, of all places, a meme. I found it, I shared it, and I got such a reaction from this meme. So many people shared it and passed it on and commented about it that I thought, okay, there's something here that's worth talking about. So let's go down through the list 1 through 9, and let's talk about the mask that each type is wearing, and then what might be going on underneath that mask. All right, so for type 1, the mask is I'm competent and I'm certain. So I'm competent and I'm certain. Ones, threes, and fives are all in a competency group, meaning they all want to believe and want others to believe that they're very competent. And I think with ones, it's that they can do a good job, that they're reliable, they're not lazy. And so they're going to, be very focused on communicating that about themselves. And under stress or under pressure, you might see them really trying to lead with that strength. Like, let's just buckle down, let's do the right thing, do the next thing in front of us and be responsible. And so the mask is, I'm competent and I'm certain. And, good. That's really great if you really are competent and certain. But what might be going on underneath the mask that the rest of us, might need to keep in mind? And it might be helpful for the one at times to realize this about themselves and maybe be a little bit more compassionate with themselves. What's going on underneath might be more like a message like, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? So on the surface, I'm competent, I'm certain, and then underneath, what's wrong with me? Am I being bad? Am I doing something I shouldn't do? Why do I not feel inclined to do this thing? Why am I wrestling with being irresponsible or lazy? Am I being, not a good worker or not a good spouse or not a good parent? What's wrong with me? Okay, type 2. Here's the mask on the outside. I'm kind and I'm here for you. I'm kind and I'm here for you. I always say 2s, 3s, and 4s, they all there's a certain sadness about them because they've all kind of given up on being the self as they are, and I have to be this better self. I have to show up in a way that is amazing. I have to show up in a way that's different, unique, awesome. And so there's this certain sadness of giving up on your true self in order to present yourself in this other way. And 2s, 3s, and 4s all kind of move away from the group to distinguish themselves. They're dealing with shame and worth and value and questions of where does my value come from? And so 2s move away from the group and then come back toward the group like, I need to serve you. I need to help you. I'm kind. I'm not like other people. I'm friendly. I'm warm. I'm genuine. You want to be in a relationship with me. I give attention and care to you. So on the surface, the message that maybe they're portraying and this message they want to believe about themselves is, I'm not like other people. I'm kind, I'm loving, I'm gracious, I'm friendly. I'm here for you. I'm the wind beneath your wings. But what might be going on underneath for the two is, I need you too, and what am I worth? Or what am I worth to you? Do I have value to you? Tell me I'm valuable to you. Tell me that I'm important to you. I need you just as much as you need me. And twos can be a little transactional in their relationships, sort of feeling like, I've done all of this for you, and you should then show up in a way that responds to that. And that can create problems because some people don't want to feel obligated in relationships, and they might, push against that. And twos could end up very hurt when they give all of this warm, loving attention and it isn't reciprocated. And so on the surface, I'm kind and I'm here for you. And underneath, I need you too. I need you to love me. I need you to remind me of my worth and value to you. And just realize I struggle with that. And if you live with a two, just remember they struggle with worth and value. Twos, threes, and fours, they struggle with it. And if you can help them and be compassionate, you might think that you're being helpful by not communicating their value. Like, I need them to become stronger. Just remember, we all have our deficiencies, and I'm helpful when I recognize that deficiency, and hopefully you'll learn in your own time that you have all this worth and value inherent in you, but it's helpful, I think, more helpful if I communicate to you your value. I think it's important I don't communicate your value because of all the things you do, but I just communicate your inherent value, that you are a person that matters, regardless of what you do for me. Okay, type 3. On the surface, here's the mask. Here's what's being presented. On the surface, I'm accomplished and I've got this. Okay, or I'm competent. There it is again, ones, threes, and fives. I'm competent. I'm accomplished. I'm an achiever. I'm a winner. I'm a fighter. I'm a lion. I've got this. I can handle this. Show me the goal. Show me the obstacles. I'll overcome the obstacles and accomplish the goal. I will achieve. I will win. And I think threes can get very frustrated when they feel like they can't. When they feel like they might fail at something. So I'm accomplished and I've got this. Underneath the mask, though, what might actually be going on that would be helpful for us to realize is there's a question of, am I good enough? Am I strong enough? Am I able? Am I good enough? Am I accomplished? Am I able to overcome this? What if I can't? What if I don't do well? What if I don't come in first place? Will I let you down? Will I be a failure? Where does my value come from? Does it come from all of this winning and achieving and accomplishing and looking great and being fantastic and being charming and being the most, whatever, fill in the blank, the most wonderful, the most amazing, the most accomplished? Am I good enough? There's the question underneath. And the more we can remind them that, yeah, you are. You're doing great. We love you. You're doing fantastic. We support you, regardless of whether or not you're able to shine, to be the most valuable player. There's a lot of pressure you're putting on yourself by having to be the most valuable player all the time. And think of the freedom that would come if you could just be present to life and just enjoy things as they are and not feel that constant pressure to perform, that constant pressure to differentiate yourself by pulling away from the group and being the most, fantastic, the most wonderful, the most accomplished. So on the surface, I'm accomplished and I've got this, but underneath, am I good enough? All right, type 4s. The mask of the 4 is, I'm different and you'll never, ever get it. You'll never understand me. You'll never get it. There's too many layers to this. I have all of this difficulty and hardships and challenges that I've gone through in life that have shaped me, that have made me who I am. And, all of that is swirling about in my basement, in all these boxes packed up. And sometimes I unpack these boxes and reminisce and think about and feel and allow myself. But then I have to get away from that because I get overwhelmed in all of this. And I need you to understand that I'm just who I am, and I'm different, and I'm not like everybody else, and you'll probably never get me. You'll probably never understand me because there's too many layers to this for me to bring it all up and to make it make sense to you. And if you understood it all, you'd probably reject me. You'd probably turn away from me. And so I need you to know who I am. I need you to understand who I am, and I need you to be okay with that. And if you're not, then I can't deal with this. I can't live like this. Okay, I'm different, and you'll never get it. Now, what's going on underneath the mask? What is the message maybe not being communicated that would be helpful for us to understand, and of course helpful for the four to understand, is it's all too much. It's all too much, and I wish you would try to get it. I wish you would try to get it. I wish you would lean in and be patient with me and hear me out and not be judgmental toward me and try to enter into this world. And even though it scares me, and sometimes I back away, and sometimes I get overwhelmed, and sometimes I feel like I'm going to lose myself or my unique specialness in some way, please try to come in. Please try to come in. Please stay with me. Please listen and try to understand all the multiple layers of who I am. And don't hit the panic button. When I hit the panic button, please don't hit the panic button. Be patient. If I'm like this, if I'm up and down, please remain steady and calm. Don't get overwhelmed. Don't let me scare you off. So it's all too much, and I wish you would try to get it. Life is too much. My past is too much. I'm anxious about relationships. I'm anxious about that people won't fully understand me, and I can't be in some kind of superficial relationship. I need to be able to go deep with you. But I'm afraid that if I unpack all these boxes and share with you everything that's gone on in my life that's made me who I am, that it would scare you and you would run away from me. So maybe I'll just go ahead and withdraw from this relationship. Yeah. So I'm different. You'll never get it. That might be what is communicated, but underneath, it's all too much, and I wish you would try to get it. I wish you'd be patient with me. I wish you would stay with me. All right. Type 5. On the mask, on the outside, what might be communicated by the 5 is, I'm independent and I don't need you. I'm independent and I don't need you. I can only rely on myself. I can't rely on other people. I need to minimize my needs. I need to minimize the focus of my attention. I need to minimize the expense of my energy, and I need to reserve all of that, and I don't need other people, and other people shouldn't have to need me. And I want to be a castle or an island unto myself. Meanwhile, there's a part of me that's reaching out and longing to connect with others. But I've realized that relationships are difficult and interactions with people are exhausting. And I need to separate away because it just creates a lot of anxiety and a lot of fear that people are going to be needy and dependent on me, or I'm going to be needy and dependent on them. So on the surface, I'm independent and I don't need you. Okay, underneath the mask, what might actually be going on that would be helpful for me to understand in interacting with a 5 is, I'm isolated. Help! Help! I feel isolated. I've isolated myself. I'm out here on this island by myself, and I don't want to be. I want a bridge back to the mainland. I'm stuck in my head. I'm isolated and I'm stuck in my head, and I need you to be understanding of that, and to understand that sometimes I need my space, and I'm not trying to be rude, maybe sometimes, but I'm not always trying to be rude. Sometimes I just don't get it. I don't get all the social cues and social norms. They're not meaningful to me. And sometimes I have a hard time, taking in everybody's information that they're giving me. I'm overanalyzing every detail, and I'm afraid, fear type, I'm afraid of other people making too many demands on me, and too many demands on my time, too many demands on my schedule. And sometimes I get stuck in my own self. I get stuck in the loop, and I need you to help me break out of that loop, but in a patient way, in a non-intrusive way. I'm isolated and I'm stuck in my head. Okay, type 6. I'm trustworthy. I'm trying to make the best decision here. I'm a trustworthy, loyal, responsible person. I'm trying to make the best decision. And so when I'm asking all my questions and when I'm reaching out and asking you, what do you think? Does this make sense? I thought that made sense. Did they say that out loud? I wasn't crazy, right? I heard them say that. You heard them say that. Why did they say that? What do you think they're up to? What's going on? And so this overwhelming anxious energy of questioning things and trying to get to a solid place, trying to find that solid ground to stand on. I need one place that's solid that I can stand on. I feel like the whole world is kind of shaky and crumbly, and I need one place where I can just feel secure. Some relationship. I need some place that's permanent that I can put my feet, where I know that I'm going to be supported. I know I'm going to have assurance. And I'm a trustworthy person. Okay, what's going on underneath the mask is it's all crumbling. Everything around me is crumbling. It's all crumbling, and I've just got to keep it together. I've got to hold it together. I got to stay strong. I got to stay courageous. I got to stay bold, and I've got to keep all of this together. Maybe it's the marriage is crumbling. Maybe it's the work environment's crumbling. Maybe the family is crumbling around you. And you can just get overwhelmed by all of this. And so we might see you as being this person who's like pushing and questioning and anxious and investigating. But what's going on underneath the surface that could be helpful for us, to realize is what are you feeling is, I feel like it's all crumbling around me. Like it's a scary, terrifying world out there. And I just want some assurance. I just want some support. I just need somebody to not panic when I'm panicked. When I'm panicked, I need somebody again to remain steady and calm. I need that secure person that I can connect to that can help me get to a peaceful conclusion to all of this. And I think we can help sixes. We can help sixes by just, letting them talk it out and not getting overwhelmed ourselves, not getting upset with them, not getting angry with them or frustrated with them for all of their questioning, energy, and being patient with them. And I think sixes are good about talking themselves through problems. They just sometimes need a listening ear or a supportive ear to interact with. Okay. Type 7. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, on the surface, what's the 7 saying? It's all good, man. It's all good. I just need to keep going. It's all fine. It's not a big deal. It's all right. I don't mind it. It's fine. It's going to work out. Okay, on the surface, it's all good. I just need to keep going. I just need to, I need to get some more enthusiasm. I can fix things with enthusiasm if I just recalibrate and I just go back into this with some new energy, some new excitement. This marriage is going to be fine. It's going to be okay, right? It's going to be okay. It's going to be fine. Tell me it's going to be fine. Work is going to be okay, right? I mean, we're going to get along eventually and we're going to make everything all right. So just keep your head down, keep going. It's going to be fine. Maybe I just need to isolate myself a little bit and get my breath. But no, I just need to show up with some new energy. I just need to keep going. I don't need to slow down. I don't need to feel stuff. Yikes. I just need to keep moving. Keep moving. But what's the next goal? Let's keep going. Okay. What's going on underneath the surface? I'm detached and I'm scared to feel. That's what's going on underneath the surface. Well, what does detached mean? Well, it could mean detached from other people. That's possible, but I think it means more like I'm detached from inside myself. Like there's all this stuff that a normal person would be feeling right now, like maybe frustration and anger and resentment or irritation or upset or sadness or pain or grief or loss and I'm just going to detach away from that. Yeah, that doesn't feel like anything I want to get bogged down in. And so, yeah, I know I'm, at a funeral and I know I should be allowing myself to attach to myself and feel the pain, but I just need to keep going. Like, let's just go to the music store instead. Let's go to the music store. Let's go get something to eat. Let's keep our brains moving. Let's keep moving away from all the stuff I probably need to deal with. I'm scared to feel. And I get this. I mean, I am a 7. I'm scared to feel. It's funny that sevens are chasing a feeling of happiness, of excitement, of enthusiasm, while running away from a lot of other feelings. And it seems to me that like if we could learn to dial up our ability to sit with our feelings, the negative ones, maybe we wouldn't have to work so hard to chase a positive feeling of happiness. In other words, if we could feel easier or feel more readily feel our emotions, maybe we wouldn't have to work so hard to try to attain a feeling. So I'm detached and I'm afraid to feel. I'm scared to feel things. And so I might need you to helpfully, patiently slow me down. I'm going to resist it. I'm going to resist it. But, maybe the right question at the right time, like, hey, Tom, are you doing okay? Well, I mean, you've been through a lot, and I'm just wondering how you're dealing with it. You want to go for a walk and talk about it? That might be really helpful. You want to go for a walk and talk about it? And you'll probably hear that 7 start up. No, everything's good, man. Everything's fine. It's all right. I mean, to be fair, it's going to work itself out. And, I really wasn't really excited about that job. And, I really, that relationship was holding me back. And now I've got all of this freedom now. And it's like, slow down there, big boy. And don't be afraid to feel the things that normal people would feel right now. Because it does feel like it's going to trap you. Okay, type 8. I'm fearless. I'm in control. Type 8. It's my other wing. It's not my dominant wing, but it's there. All right, so I'm fearless and I'm in control. Really? Because you're yelling at the cashier. You're kind of out of control right now. It's funny that sometimes the person most focused on keeping control of their environment can sometimes be the most out of control, when they're upset, when they're frustrated. So that power and control thing is always kind of interesting to me. So I'm fearless and I'm in control. That's what you're presenting. That may be what you feel like you need to present. Like, I can't be this scared kid. I can't be this kid, that gets pushed around. I can't be this victim. I can't be this person that doesn't know what to do. I'm anxious. I'm indecisive. I'm disappointed other people are in charge and not me. I can't be that. If I want to make a sandwich, I'm just going to have to make a sandwich. If mom's got a problem with it, sorry, mom, I'm going to make a sandwich. I'm 4 years old. I can do what I need to do. I don't need your help. You're not in charge of me. We raised an 8. And I love 8s. You guys are simple people. I mean, you just kind of got this notion early on as children, like, I can't be a kid. Actually, it's not so much I can't be a kid. I think that's more like 1s. I can't be a child. I need to be a parent. I think with 8s, it's like, I can't be small. I can't be small. I need to be big. I need to be bigger than I am. I need to be big. And other people need to know I'm big. And I can't be scared. They need to be scared of me. I need to be scary so I'm not scared. I need to be bigger. I need to be stronger. I need to be more powerful. What's going on underneath the mask, though? What's going on underneath the surface? Ugh. If you're an 8, you're like, I don't want to think about this. This feels ooey. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to talk about it. It feels like, what? Childlike. It feels childlike. What's going on underneath is there's a little kid in there. There's a little kid in there working this giant robot. This giant robot on the outside is strong and tough, but underneath there's this little kid. Like everybody else, there's a little kid in there. And you kind of told that little kid, go away. Don't ever let anybody see that there's a kid inside here. There's a kid in there. A nice, sweet, loving kid. There is. We know it. I know it. There's a nice, sweet, loving kid in there that just kind of is sad that they couldn't be a kid. All right. So what's going on underneath? On the outside, I'm fearless. I'm in control. Let's just get out of my way. We're going to take action. Okay. Underneath, I want to let someone in, but I don't know how. I want to let someone in, but I don't know how. Let me say that again. I want to let someone in, but I don't know how. Because you got a fortress, right? And all the people that matter are inside the fortress. Good question. Is there anybody left inside the fortress? I mean, how many people do you have left in your fortress? Hopefully you got a bunch of people. Bunch of people that you interact with and that love you and that you open up to and you let into your life. But maybe there's a lot more people that could be in that fortress if it wasn't a fortress. Maybe if it was just like, a home with a front door and it's locked, Good. You need a lock on your door. But do you need a fortress? Do you need a fort? I want to let people in. But look, there's this fear that if I let them in, what if they betray me? What if they're not honest with me? What if they're not true to me? What if they try to take advantage? If I let them in, and I think one of the ways you'll know an 8 is letting you in is you'll see them be vulnerable with you. You'll see them cry with you, for example. They'll cry in front of you, or they'll tell you about their fears. They'll tell you things that show their weaknesses. 8s don't want people to know or see. They don't want to see it themselves, their own weaknesses, their handicaps. They don't want people to see that. They don't want to see it themselves. And so when an 8 is opening up to you and sharing with you, their feelings or their fears or what makes them anxious, they are opening the door to let you in their fort. Well, if they share that stuff with you, you might use it against them. You might laugh at them. You might humiliate them. You might put them down or convey a message that they're not really as strong as they pretend to be. And that could be a fearful thing, to let your guard down, to let somebody in like that. So on the outside, I'm fearless, I'm in control. On the inside, I want to let somebody in, but I don't know how. Okay, last one, type 9. I'm a tolerant and easygoing person. I'm easy to get along with. Yeah, most 9s are. Even 9/8s, are easy to get along with. They're a little bit more snarky. 9/8s are a little bit more snarky and a little bit more likely to just kind of, say that thing out loud than a 9-wing 1. But 9s tend to portray this easygoing, nature about themselves, self-deprecating, not taking themselves too seriously, minimizing themselves in order to orbit around other people, and being relatively easy to get along with. Sometimes they just kind of withdraw and disappear on you if they have a problem. They don't always come out and tell you. Probably a 9-wing 8 is more likely to tell you, or a healthy 9-wing 1 that's able to take a deep breath and say out loud what's on their mind. But, as a rule, 9s tend to be gentle people that want to not have problems and want to get along with people. And when you continually bring problems to them make the relationship dramatic and problematic and push them into themselves to know how they feel about things and think about things, that 9 might feel a little overwhelmed and feel like this relationship is becoming difficult and problematic, and I don't want problems, so I probably ought to just not return the call. What's going on underneath the mask, though, of this no problem person? What's going on underneath the mask? I'm angry and I'm stuck. That's what's going on underneath. I'm angry. I'm frustrated. Now, I know as a 9, you're like, I'm not angry. Okay, well, let's unpack anger a little bit. Anger is when something in your environment is not going the way you expected it to go. The feelings that you have right now are what other people would call anger. That's the way I always like to say it to a 9. Let me just put it this way. When you're telling yourself everything's fine, when you're saying, well, it's not a big deal. I don't really mind. It's only one Saturday and, they didn't have anybody to help and I wasn't doing anything anyway. And I don't mind moving boxes all day and, it's fine. When you're telling yourself all the time that everything around you is fine, guess what? It's not fine. It's not fine. And I want you to see that like an 8 and a 1 on either side of you would say out loud, this is not right. This is not fine. This is bullcrap. But your tendency is to, instead of hearing your own voice and saying out loud that something is bothering you, your tendency is to turn against yourself and tell yourself, it's not a big deal. It's not a problem. And I just want you to know that unsettled feeling that you have right then when you're telling yourself everything's okay is what other people would call anger. So there's a lot of anger in there, isn't there? And, anger gets kind of like stored up. It leaks out. It gets stored up in your body and it leaks out. And so it might be helpful for you to recognize that there is some anger in there. Like there is some frustration in there. Okay, so that's where my camera quit working. So obviously now I'm just filming this on my computer screen, which looks terrible.